Speaker, I rise to support the NGCDF bill. We have seen this going back and forth in and out of the courts. And I really want to appeal to those who want to always rush to court to stop legislators from doing the work that they have been entrusted to do, from achieving what they have to do as representatives of the people. One cannot write off the benefits of NGCDF, the connection that it has between the legislator and the people. If we didn't have NGCDF, most of our students would still be studying under the trees or on mabati sheds. It is NGCDF that has managed to put a lot of schools and classrooms out in the urban centers and in the rural centers. NGCDF has also managed to give the police places where they can be able to actually serve the people, because they also have the task of police stations. NGCDF has also built dormitories for our schools. And for me, they've also had other tasks and duties, like for the environment. So I know that the issue of separation of powers has been brought about, but at the end of the day, one has to look at the overall benefit of ensuring that we devolve services to the mwananchi as far as we can through the leaders that they have elected to serve them. Because when the mother or the father is looking for a school and is denied the access to the school for their children, they don't ask, oh, is it the executive, is it the legislator, is it the judiciary? All they want is services brought to them. And this bill will ensure that we have the separation of powers, but at the same time, we do not kill something that has been so beneficiary to the people of Kenya. We have the Ministry of Education, we have the devolved county governments, but if you look at the number of schools that have been put up in our country, majority of them have been done by the legislators, because they are where the people are and they understand where the needs of the people are. So for that, I really hope that this bill will be entrenched into law and we can no longer have this back and forth, because even when it comes to bursaries, again, the NGCDF has really helped a number of students and families to be able to go to school to complete their education. Now, the only area that I felt that we needed to look into is we focus so much on public schools. And yet we know the majority of schools that we have are community-based schools. Some of the community-based schools are really deplorable. If there was a way that we could also look at the community-based schools that are run on people's private land, and make PPPs with these community-based schools, so that we could also ensure that they get upgraded. Because, you know, a child is a child, and the Constitution of Kenya says we should not discriminate. It is really appalling to see some of the schools that our children go to. And the people who run these schools, and the reason why these schools are filled up is because there is a failure for us to provide the number of schools. So while government is improving the public schools and they've run out of land, and their community schools that are really excelling, I feel that the NGCDF should be in a position to allow some of the funding to actually go and build in partnership the community-based schools, and then Teacher Service Commission to also provide education. Because a child that is born in this country does not understand why, if I cannot be accommodated in a public school, the community school that I'm going to is not having the same services as the one that is public. So I think there should be a way for us to use the public partnership laws and ensure that we also cater for the public schools. We also have a problem with the community schools. We also have a problem with providing sanitary towels to our children in the community schools and the mission schools. So I think all around, whatever laws we do, we should ensure that we leave no one behind. I stand here and I support, and I hope that very soon we will be able to discuss the National Government Affirmative Action Fund, which also needs to be entrenched into law. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Member for Kitutu Masaba, Honourable Clive Gisario.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And as a member of the NGCDF Committee of the House, I stand here to support this amendment bill. Madam Speaker, as we went around this country, we were able to appreciate, as we did our public participation, to appreciate the importance of NGCDF, what it has done to our people, the lives it has changed, and what the people expect of it. This bill is to protect NGCDF from the many busybodies who are forever in courts trying to fight this very progressive fund. The NGCDF is what's giving the poor majority of this nation a lifeline in terms of education and giving them quality infrastructure. Madam Speaker, the amendments are timely, that we are going to remove any issues that were raised by the courts, the elements of sports, which the courts were said is a devolved function. This now gives the counties and the county leadership a chance to showcase their abilities in terms of developing skills without pointing a finger towards the NGCDF. Issues to do with environment, we now move NGCDF to look into climate mitigation, which is a global phenomenon. The challenges that are faced globally, we are going to put more resources through NGCDF for our committees to see how best to address these issues in constituency levels. Madam Speaker, NGCDF is the only fund that can be seen to work at the grassroots levels. In my own constituencies, children are now able to see quality classrooms. Some have never seen a classroom with tiles, classroom with ceiling boards. But now through NGCDF, this is achieved. Infrastructure does not only include classrooms. We are even able, through NGCDF committees, to have sports fields in schools, leveled and made to be of standard that allows to build talent for our children. Because while we build classrooms, we are supporting the child who is brainy, who is talented academically. What about the child who is talented in other areas like sports? Through NGCDF, the fields are able to be done. Sports arenas within the school can be upgraded to ensure that the child builds their talents. NGCDF must be protected. And we thank this House, the leadership, leader of majority and minority, for having come up with a bill that ensures that the future of NGCDF is protected and our children are going to have a better chance, better infrastructure, and a better environment for them to grow and succeed in their future lives and careers. Madam Speaker,